Today, I'm going to be telling you a story about Jane. Now, I picked out the story majorly because it's still very fresh in my mind, and the story goes to expose what we face in our societies today when it comes to relationships, engagement, and marriage. Anyway, so it's 7:30 somewhere in Lagos, Ikoyi to be precise. I've had a long day doing trips, getting to the peak end of my day. A little tired, but I think I still had like a trip left in me before I head home. So I'm sitting in my car as usual, waiting for a request when my phone beeps. I just look at the screen. It's a trip to Egbeda. Egbeda is a bit close to home, so it's something I want to take. And the name of my ride there was Jane. So as a 5-star rated driver, what you want to do is be the first to call and also drive quickly to pick up location so you can offer good service. And that's exactly what I did. I got there, parked my car and patiently waited. Now there's something I love to do always. I like to profile my riders from how they sound over the phone. Jane was very well mannered, polite. She sounded calm. And I thought she was an average height looking young, mid-20s, pretty face, light skinned. I thought she was a fine, good girl, you know. As I waited, I anticipated her appearance. Usually my predictions are, say, 87% correct. So I was expecting to see the gate of the building opened and a guy walked out, dark-skinned, tall. He wore a t-shirt and some shorts and slippers. As he stepped out of the building, behind him was a nice-looking young lady, light-skinned, average height, like I predicted. The only part of my prediction I did not anticipate was her body. The girl had a crazy body on her. She was thick and curvy. Exactly how I like my women. To be honest, I stared at her as she walked from the house to the car. I'm sure she must have caught me several times moping, but I didn't care. I had to see this beautiful work of art. I had to see this beautiful woman. They stood beside the car and had conversations for a few minutes. He gave her a lingering hug and they said their goodbyes. Now, I usually have this conflict about where I want my riders to sit in the car. I prefer they sit in the back seat, do their business. I sit in the front, do my driving, do my business, and everyone's happy. But with Jane, she could sit on my laps if she pleased, and it won't even be a problem. Girl was fine. As she sank into the front seat, she must have said hello, but I couldn't hear anything because what stared me right in my face were her very thick, light-skinned, fresh-looking thighs. I instantly became nervous. She began to dial a number frantically as we drove off. And as the person on the other side picked up, she repeatedly said, "I'm almost there. I'm on my way. There's traffic everywhere, but I'm almost there." This one another runs girl, I thought to myself. They leave one man's house and they go another house. In this line of business, there's nothing I haven't seen. No kind lumber where I never hear. This is just another runs girl running her game. Or so I thought. I could see her from the corner of my eyes as she continued to read the messages on her phone. And suddenly she exclaimed, "You men!" I felt attacked, and something inside me wanted to reply. So I said, "What have we done again?" She said, "You guys don't know what you want. You want to eat your cake and also have it." Why not? Who wouldn't want to eat their cake and also have it? Tell me one person. She turned and looked at me in big surprise, like that was the wildest thing she has ever heard. And I said, "Yeah, Men always know what they want, but never confused. She began to explain how her friend Richard had a girlfriend, but they have very deep feelings for each other. That was a conflict situation for me at first. That was a problem, but I just thought she looked like a wrong scale. So whatever, I judged her, and then she said you look like a Yoruba demon, and I get that all the time. Well, I thought it was a compliment. The conversation had me feeling good. I was relaxed. She asked if we're going to be in a lot of traffic, and I said, "You've already said there's a lot of traffic on the road," sarcastically, and she laughed. That broke the ice. She was now relaxed. She was going to enjoy the trip. I confirmed how much traffic we're going to be in and advised her to relax and get comfortable, which she did by reclining the car seat. She reclined the car seat a little bit, and then the short dress she was wearing now went up. I could see her thighs. It was wild. As we drove, she asked if I had ever been in a long relationship, and I said, yeah, I just got out of one. And she said, wow, you must get a lot of attention from your female riders. And I said, yeah, I do, I get, but I'm not interested in anything serious right now because I'm trying to heal. And she said she could totally relate to that feeling, that she just got out of a very long relationship and she was engaged to this person for over a year. I was shocked. This is the opposite of who I thought this girl. I judged her and I was curious. I wanted to find out the story. So I said, what could happen for an engagement to be called off? As I continued with these questions, her phone was ringing back to back, but she was ignoring the calls. I could see it. So I was wondering, what's going on? Why so much pressure? She went on to explain to me how her ex-fiance, was from Bauchi and his father was a big pastor in Bauchi. Why she lives right here in Lagos, a church girl, engaged to the son of a big pastor. I thought she was a wrong girl. The skirt that she did, it wasn't even a skirt. The dress that she wore was so short, it was unholy. She went on to describe the actual event that led to their breakup. It was sad. People go through a lot in this life. So be kind to people when you see them. People go through a lot. How, because of the distance, they got to see themselves like once or twice a year. I was curious. I asked if they were sexually active, and she said no. She said they had never had sex before, but some of her friends are suggesting that she has to try and taste what she's about to commit to, so that she'd know they're trying to convince her to have sex. So she had a conversation with Bobo now, and Bobo also agreed. So there was a rendezvous. She was going to go over and spend some time there, and then they would do the do. The time came, she boarded her flight, she went there, she saw the family. Of course, the families knew each other, the friends knew each other. They were like a very close circle with her friends and family, and the relationship was well known to all parties. Spent some time at the family house, and then they moved to the hotel. Now, the story that happened inside the bedroom, because she said she prepared for this trip, so she got some very nice lingerie, because this was going to be the first time and she wanted it to be special. At the hotel, she said she did her thing, came out looking smoky, and I was just eyeing her from the corner of my eyes. How she was talking about herself looking smoky. I said, smoky indeed. And then she tried to seduce Bobo now. They were kissing, making out, and doing all the, foreplays. But he wasn't getting hard at all. Chairman no gree come party. It was flat. She was shocked. So she stopped and began to question him about, what's going on? Is everything okay? Don't I look attractive to you? She was becoming self-conscious. And then he said, no, he's just a bit tired. He gave some excuses and that they should go on. And as they continued, it was still the same thing. Nothing happened. So she had had enough. So they both stopped. And then he confessed to her that he had a secret. And that at this point, she had to hear what the problem with the erection was. Well, she was shocked because she didn't expect, now, normal level now. Fine girl like that. She said she gets a ton of attention from church boys, bad boys, in all direction. Anyways, back to the story. She said he confessed to have a porn addiction. He couldn't get an erection without watching porn. So if he was going to have sex with anyone, they both have to be watching porn for it to happen. Now, she thought this was something really huge. But as an understanding babe now, it was important for her to be there for a man and try and see how they can sort the whole matter out, how they can get, a solution to the problem. So she said, it's not a problem now. I won't judge you because of this situation. I'll be here. I won't go. She wanted to support her man. And she thought to herself also that since the Jogboron, they always stand like that, that means he won't cheat on her while she's away. So it was a bit reassuring, but at the same time also a huge problem because come on, everybody would like to enjoy some sweetness. Anyways, so in the spirit of opening up and confessing about challenges and situations in the bedroom, she decided to tell him a secret about an event in her life that took place just before the trip. Because, I didn't judge you. You told me your own problem. So let me to tell you my own so that we'll be on the same playing field, we'll be on the same level. So she began to narrate a story to me about an outing, a girl's weekend, a getaway with some of her friends. And when they got to the place, it was a beach house somewhere. And there was a party, the camp somewhere. It was interesting. They had a lot of people there. So she said the minute she got there was this girl, fine girl. She looked a bit tomboyish, but she was cute. And that the girl kept giving her attention continuously. And she thought, maybe she just likes me. She wants to be my friend. And she didn't think anything of it. But the attention was consistent and it continued. But in her mind, she didn't suspect anything, really. She just thought, it was just cool. And they were chilling, hanging out, talking, at the beach house. It was a pool party. So, of course, you have to change into something that's right for the occasion. And she had showed up at the pool party looking different. So she decided to go into the bathroom inside the house to change and wear something nice. Now, she said while she went in there, this girl followed her. So, of course, girls change in front of each other, all the time. It's not a big deal. It's part of their bonding process. So she took off her clothes right in front of the girl. The minute they locked eyes, she said the girl came at her so fast. She felt like she was taken. She said, I found myself doing things and that's how it happened. And I said, what does this mean? And she went on to say that when her fiancé heard all this, he couldn't take it. He judged her instantly and said she had lesbian tendencies and that he's not sure that he ever wants to get married to a woman with lesbian tendencies. So I asked her, I said, is this something that you like? Is this something that you would like to do again? And she said, absolutely not. That she just wanted to be with her man and this was just a distraction. But she decided to open up because in the spirit of, okay, you gave me something, let me give you something back. The relationship had ended. She couldn't understand it. She said, I didn't judge him, but he judged me. It's not fair. I said, life is not fair. Last. Now everybody go chop breakfast. She smiled and looked at me because she thought I would sympathize and be gentle on her. Take it easy, she's hurting. But she was also excited by that reaction. Our attraction grew as the conversation grew. She was opening up to me, so I had access. When we talked, the eye contact was electric. She started tapping my laps to get my attention. Like she would tap me on the lap and be like, okay, so while I was like, yo, we're touching each other already? We were too close. The proximity was dangerous. So I said, I need to find a way to focus on my driving. She went on to describe to me how the guy's house she's going to right now is a very violent boyfriend. He broke up with his ex-girlfriend because he beat her to stupor. I mean, they rushed her to the hospital. She almost went blind. And I said, how can you be friends with someone like that? And he's calling you, and I can see that he's the one even calling you. And yes, you're going to this person's house. And she said, well, he's just a friend. They don't have anything. And I said, but he's already controlling you. Can't you see? I felt like a snitch, but I didn't care. Somewhere inside me, or maybe somewhere in the corner, I felt maybe this is something that I want. But I knew it was just, we were just having fun. We were catching cruise. The traffic cleared up. Our journey made progress. From there on, I sympathized with her a little bit because I wasn't so judgmental in my mind. This wasn't someone entirely different from what I had conceived her to be. She was just in a confused space. I could never understand the pain. Maybe I feel like I'm the one who's making someone feel that way. Anyways, what am I even saying? Back to the story. Yeah, so it was all fun. The conversation was good. I felt her palms. She felt mine. And when we got to her destination, something happened. Yeah, so I parked right in front of the house. So we sat in the car and maybe talked for 5 minutes-ish. And the guy she was going to visit was seeing us somewhere in the building. So when she eventually paid her fare, she came down. And I looked at there's a space in between my gearbox where I put stuff. She had left her glasses in the car, and they were so big. I thought to myself, there's no way this girl is leaving this thing by mistake. And the reason is because she probably wants me to return this and then we'll see again. While I was here thinking this thought, the friend came out looking angry. I didn't want to come back to the house. So I wound down, called her. She came to the window. I said, oh, look, you forgot your glasses. While I handed the glasses to her, she collected them from me with a look that I'll never forget. She was so disappointed. Disappointment was written all over her face. She was like, who's this guy? This guy's a Jew. How can you not just get the message? I left the glasses there so that you come back. But I didn't want anything to do with it, to be honest. I mean, the complication could be endless. I drove off, and I was so happy that I dodged that bullet because it was coming straight at me. There was no way I could have said no. All we had to do was be in this situation where we're isolated, and that body will be calling. Yeah. Anyways, I'm on my way home now. I'm close to home. Now I can go and enjoy that nice afang soup from a girl that lives close to me. The best part is I don't get to pay for it. I get that food free of charge. Could this be the benefits of a single life? What do you guys think? I can't wait to share my next stories with you. And until then, this is Gidi Driver.